Welcome, and thank you for listening to the Sales Maven Show. I'm your host, Nikki Rausch. I'm your own personal sales maven, here to offer you tips and strategies and techniques to really master your sales conversations. Today, we're going to be talking about the difference between a lead and a distraction, and how to gracefully handle the person that has the just one more question for you before paying people. Um, I don't know if you've ever had this, but when somebody says, I'm totally going to hire you and I just need help with this one thing first. And so you give them the help or give them the support or give them the answer, and then they just disappear. They start ghosting you, right? Have you ever had that happen? I know I have. I just actually had it happen to me a couple months ago, and I know better, right? Like I know these moments to recognize them, and it's hard. It's hard sometimes to say no, especially if it's somebody that you have some kind of a relationship with. But I want to talk about this on this episode because I want to remind you that you're not being rude by not giving away your stuff for free or helping somebody who is that person who seems to kind of always ask for something with this like hint that they're going to hire you and then they don't. And maybe months have gone by or even years. I know I recognize this pattern in it with somebody who I'd had a great relationship with. They had hired me to do some work many years ago. And I noticed that maybe once or twice a year, they were reaching out with, like, hey, can I just ask you this one question? Like, and at first I was like, okay, with this idea, like, oh, they probably need some additional support from me. We're going to work together. And they kind of hinted at that. And then, gave him the answer, ghosted me, like never heard a thing back. Another 6 months, 8 months go by. Then they just have that one more question. And as soon as I finally realized, like, Nikki, you know better, you teach this, you got to stop doing this. So interesting that the next time they reached out and asked for just like a quick Nikki help on something, and I sent them the link to book a strategy session. Um, didn't hear anything for a while, but then the next offer that I sent out for strategy sessions, the person bought. So it was that good reminder. So I'm bringing this for you today in case you are in any of these situations, because I want to remind you that setting boundaries isn't, again, it's not about being rude to somebody. And you can still be your professional self, and you can still be somebody who cares and is kind, and giving it away for free isn't helping you. And frankly, it's not really helping the person either, because this one fast thing that they're getting from you is just like the tip of the iceberg as to what's possible. So we have to kind of get these distractions and these people that we allow to distract us kind of either like get on board, like pay and get the service or get the thing that you need from me, pay for it so that we can have this good exchange, or go find somebody else who wants to give it to you for free. Like there has to be this like shift. And let's talk about this idea of like why it's hard to say no. It's usually hard to say no, I find, with the entrepreneurs that I work with, because most of us start our businesses with this idea of like we want to make an impact in the world, right? We want to do good work in the world, and we want the people that we come into contact with to feel like they're getting a huge value, and um, they're getting really kind of more than what they're paying for, right? Like it elevates our ego, it elevates our sense of the good work that we're doing in the world, and most of us, I find, want to be generous. And unfortunately, there are those people who will just take advantage. And so having clear boundaries allows for you to decide in that moment if you're going to ignore your boundary and give from a place of, like probably not going to get anything back. That's okay. Like if that's your decision, versus somebody who's kind of forcing it on you or manipulating you to think that because you need to do this thing for them for free, then at some point you're going to get this business back. And I just find that that rarely comes to fruition. And we end up kind of feeling frustrated, and we feel oftentimes, I don't know, there's been times when I felt taken advantage of or, like I said, manipulated. None of that feels good. And then it keeps us from wanting to take care of the people that kind of are in need or the people who kind of keeps us jaded, right? So having these clear boundaries allows for you to stop and not just give from this place of like, oh, I'm supposed to do this here, or I need to do this in order to earn this person's business. I just find that that's rarely the case. So what do you say to the person who says something like, I just have one more quick question for you? Or can I pick your brain about this? Or, as soon as whatever external thing happens, then I'll be ready to move forward. But in the meantime, can you just help me with this thing? Or can you just offer me a resource on X, Y, and Z? At some point, it's good to have these phrases kind of ready to go. So I'm going to give you a couple. You, of course, tweak them and make them your own. If you like the ones I give, great, use them. And if you need to tweak it, but the most important thing and my hope in sharing this episode is to give you some language that you can take away and have in your back pocket for when these situations come up so that you're ready. I always think being prepared is better than finding yourself in a situation where you're like, I'm stunned at what this person is asking of me right now. And so I don't know how to address it. So I'll just give because I don't know what to say. Right. So I'm going to give you some things to say so that you don't just have to give. Right. So again, I have a quick question or, hey, can I pick your brain? Or, as soon as this thing happens, I'm going to be ready to hire you. But in the meantime, can you just give me this thing for free? So here's some phrases. You might say, I would absolutely love to support you on that. Would you like to book a paid session? Then you wait and you see what they say next. Or you could say, that's definitely something that we could cover in a strategy session or in a XYZ program, or that's definitely something that I go over in XYZ, training or program or whatever you want to say. And then you follow up with the invitation. Would you like a link to book that? Or would you like a link to sign up for that? Wait, see what they say. Now, more times than not, they're going to say, oh, I'll let you know. Great. Bless and release. At least that way, when they don't end up hiring you or nothing comes from it, at least you don't have to feel like, oh, beat yourself up later for like, oh, I knew better and I gave anyway. I'd mentioned that I had a situation where somebody had done this to me not that long ago. It was time for them to sign up for something. And so I offered an incentive for them to sign up. They needed a little bit of extra and they needed the extra sooner than they needed the thing that they were going to sign up for. And I just said, I will bonus that to you as soon as you sign up for the thing. And then they were like, oh, okay, great. Send me the link. I sent the link, followed up. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do it. Followed up again, nothing. And the only saving grace that I had there was, oh, well, whether they come back at some point and sign up, but that thing that was so urgent that they needed that help with, I'm really grateful that I didn't just do it for free, thinking that they were going to sign up for this other thing, right? Because now here we are a couple months later and crickets, nothing. So at least I don't have to like beat myself up now of like, oh, I gave that thing to them for free. I charge other people for it and I just shouldn't have done it. Right. So that's what I'm hoping that you find for yourself as a result of this episode. Remember that your expertise, your time, your, the pick the brain, the things that come easy to you, they come easy to you because you've invested in some way in learning them, honing them, and letting people just take will really kind of get into your mindset. It will really allow you, it will send that message of like, oh yeah, you can walk all over me. Right. And, I get this in my business too. I probably get it more than I want to acknowledge or admit. But there is this idea, right, where sometimes people will say things in a what I consider to be a manipulative way. I just had this recently where somebody was like, "But because you're a really nice person, Nikki, I'm asking for this thing that was the most ridiculous thing that I've been asked for in a while." I was honestly shocked, but they coached it around this like compliment. Like, because you're such a nice person, I'm just assuming that you're going to give this thing to me. And we're talking thousands of dollars that this person was asking for in service. And they broached it like it was a compliment. Like, and if I didn't do it, somehow that made me not a nice person or not authentic or not genuine. And yeah, and I always go back to what I learned from Shelley Warren. Like, I really don't care anymore if people think I'm nice. I'm kind. And sometimes kind means having to say to somebody, like, I'm not a doormat. And in order to, walk this way or walk with me, but not on me, there is a cost to that. And if that means that somebody walks away going like, oh, well, I guess she's just not as nice as she seemed, I'm okay with that. I hope you are too, in your own way and in your own business of like this manipulation of people making you feel like you have to give something in order for them to get, to take action or to value you in some way. Like, be done with it. So, lead versus a distraction. A lead is the person that, yes, offer some kind of an enticement. Hey, when you sign up for this, I will do this extra thing. Or, hey, that's something that we can do together in a strategy session. Would you like the link to sign up for that? Or, hey, we can absolutely do that together. And in order for us to get started, go ahead and sign up for this program, or go ahead and, how would you like to pay for that? It is absolutely okay to make these statements, to ask these questions, and then wait and see what the person says. All right. I am wishing you so much success, and I am wishing you a lack of distraction from the person who will take, and so that you can focus your time and energy on the people who are going to value what you bring to the table, the people who are willing to pay for it. And the fact of the matter is, the people who pay for your services, the people who invest, they're not always thinking, they're rarely actually thinking about the investment that they made in you. They're thinking about the investment they made in themselves. And so it's very rewarding for somebody to invest in themselves by hiring you and then getting fantastic results, the kind of things that you deliver. My clients get fantastic results, and they make a lot of money as a result of the things that we work on. And it builds their confidence. And it's not just about money, but they are able to make a bigger impact in the world with the clients that they work with. Like, all of these things really matter. And I really don't care if somebody walks away going like, oh, she's a good investment. I want them to go, I'm a good investment in myself, that I just invested and I learned this thing, or I did this thing, or I took this action, and here are the results that I got. And I hope you want that for your clients too. And they have to pay money in order to get it. Okay, I really am wrapping up. Thank you for being here. Wishing you continued success as always. And if you need some support in how to reach out and say no to somebody, then book a session with me and let's talk about it. Let's get some comfortable language for you so that you can stop being distracted by the person who is dangling this little like dollar in front of you, but keeps like pulling it away, right? No more of that. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening.